Today on TimesCast, an uneasy calm in Haiti's capital following violent protests over presidential election results. Teens in Juarez, Mexico fight for survival in the middle of a dangerous drug war. And an unexpected second act for a former NBA player. A day after violence roiled Port-au-Prince, bad weather has forced protesters inside. But Haiti's presidential election results are still uncertain, and top candidates are filing appeals.
This is Debbie Sontag reporting from Haiti. As of early this morning, streets of Port-au-Prince were littered with heaps of earthquake rubble, barricades made out of dumpsters, and it was ghostly. There are not people marching, chanting, beating drums yet. And I think that people are regrouping and figuring out what to do next. The one thing that strikes me is that ever since the earthquake, Haitians have kept charging forward. It has been moving and almost awe-inspiring to see the way people have dusted themselves off and gone on about the struggle of daily life. And right now, this country is paralyzed in the wake of a very turbulent election whose results are considered suspect by most of the population and even by the three leading candidates. And that's a real crisis. The candidates have now only a couple more days to file legal appeals. The backdrop to this is that there is a cholera epidemic raging in this country. With the streets blocked and planes unable to come in and out, you actually are going to have situations where people are dying as a result.
We continue our series from Juarez, Mexico. Video journalists Craig and Brent Renault report on teenagers caught in the crossfire of a dangerous drug war.
We're on our way to the Youth Detention Center here in Juarez. This is one of the largest centers in Latin America. Most of these kids will be in here for murder.
Mi habitación. Voy a estar 3 años más por homicidio, por una riña de barrios. Mi estatus son de la pandilla. Como 10 amigos los que he perdido allá. En uno de ellos mi hermano.
There is a violent drug war raging on the border between Mexico and the United States, and young people in the city of Juarez are caught in the middle. The drug cartels use kids associated with street gangs as lookouts, drug runners, and even to commit murder. Many more, like these young people, are simply victims to the bloodshed.
Jalil, ¿tú qué estuviste la semana pasada?
El domingo en la noche mataron a un amigo.
¿Te permitiste llorar?
Pues esa noche lloré hasta el martes, ya como que me fui recuperando. Y luego el lunes mataron a la suegra de una amiga y pues también fui down.
With as many as 25 murders per day here, everyone in Juarez is touched by the violence in some way. At this support group, teenagers learn to cope with the reality of life in one of the most dangerous cities in the world.
Quiero pedir que nos cuides a cada uno de nosotros de la violencia que está ocurriendo aquí en Juárez.
In an after-school program set up by the city to help keep kids off the street, we talk to a group of young people about the dangers they confront daily.
How many of you have seen violence on the streets here, maybe even seen someone killed in the neighborhood?
No solo afecta a uno, sino a toda una cultura. Se lleva a gente, a niños, adultos, y toda una ciudad y toda una cultura que muchas veces cuesta tanto tener una cultura para que se vayan en la violencia.
Brent and Craig Renault, reporting for the New York Times, Juarez, Mexico.
And a look at the second act of former NBA player Ronnie Seikaly.
Before 45-year-old Ronnie Seikaly held court here, he ruled on the basketball court. Seikaly began his pro sports career in 1989 as the first ever NBA draft pick of the Miami Heat. The record-breaking center played for teams all over the country before quitting in 2000. Seikaly says this is his second chance at a childhood passion put on hold for sports.
I started playing music when I was 14 years old. I always saved some money to buy the vinyls, the record players, the mixer, headphones, the whole thing.
Seikaly was born in Beirut, grew up in Athens, and was raised on disco.
It was kind of the new music after rock and roll. Let's actually go to a dance floor and dance on the dance floor. So this is my playroom. This is what I consider my playroom. Let's see.
Seikaly began pro spinning in 2007, using a room in his Miami Beach home to experiment with songs.
The most important thing is to capture that moment where all of a sudden everybody's in a good mood, everybody starts dancing, and then all of a sudden you feel there's a click between you and the crowd. I'm not doing this to become famous. I'm doing this just to share the love and share the music.
Join us again tomorrow for TimesCast.